Okay, from here we'll start the speaking test. This is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place on Thursday the 6th of August. Centre number DDE 120 and the candidate is Sabo Mazinani. The candidate number is 014132778. The examiner is Samson Sees, examiner number 443533. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Samson. Would you please tell me your full name?
My name is Sabo Mazin.
Okay, in the first part of the exam, I will ask you some personal questions. Let's talk about shopping. Do you enjoy shopping?
I love shopping as a woman, and most of the time I prefer to spend my free time in shopping centers, of course.
Okay. And how often do you go shopping and what do you buy?
Most of the time at weekends with my friends, and I prefer buy clothes, especially shoes and cosmetics.
So, do you prefer to go shopping alone or with other people, and why?
It depends. I'm a person who buy all the things easily. But if, I don't know, my friends are really picky and streaky, okay, I prefer do it alone by myself.
Okay, I'd like to move on and ask you some questions about food. What is your favorite food and why?
My favorite food is kebab and Iranian food, and because I love barbecue, it's really enjoyable for me.
And what kind of restaurants do you like to eat out at?
I usually go to traditional restaurants with my family and my friends, and we order kebab there. And there are specific restaurants that most of the time we frequent.
Okay, and what would your perfect meal be?
Sultani. The portion is it's a large portion of kebab with a lot of, I don't know, salad, olive, onion, and it's really enjoyable for me.
Okay, I'd like to talk now about your hobbies. Tell me about any hobbies you have.
I'm a movie buffer, and at weekends I prefer to watch movies, especially French series and French movies, and then I follow American series.
Right. Are there any hobbies you would like to have in the future?
I really like to organize a program for going to hiking and going to mountain in the future, I hope.
Okay. Do you think hobbies should be relaxing or should they be exciting, and why?
According to my personality, I love the activities, exciting activities that are full of adventure and excitement. That's why I follow traveling. I travel with my friends, especially to new places.
Explain one of these travels for me.
I remember last summer, my friend and we went to Filband, and we did bungee jumping there. It was amazing, and I will never forget that day.
Okay. Well, that is the end of part 1. We'll now move on to part 2. I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say,
Okay.
and you can make notes if you wish.
Sure.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Here's some paper and a pencil.
Thank you, sir.
And here is your topic.
Okay.
You now have 1 minute to make notes.
Okay.
Okay, that's the end of your
Sure.
1 minute making notes. So you may start speaking now.
Okay, I'm French teacher, and last year I participated in a course that the professor was one of my university professor. It was a course for teaching to kids and adults. I really found this course useful for me as a teacher because there I got lots of things about a new method of teaching, especially teaching grammar and different part of vocabularies. And from then, I can say I can see how my students now they are developing. And thanks God, now I can be in touch with my professor because whenever I face a problem in teaching, I can take his advice. And why you didn't enjoy it? And there were some parts of this course they were tiring for me. Like doing the exercises, writing essays. I prefer to have a dynamic class with my students, so I prefer some, especially group work. That's why writing individually makes me tired, and I don't recommend it to my students most of the time.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's move on to part 3. So we've been talking about a course you have done that you found useful, and I'd now like to ask you some questions related to this. Okay, first let's consider homework. Do you think it is important that children are given homework?
For all the subjects, no, because that would be tiring for them. First, they must, do different activities by their hands, and they should try to explore the things. Just writing down lots of, homeworks and words, they don't have any benefits for them, especially for the future. They must know how to work, how to be a person that can, do something perfectly. But writing down, that would be something new, maybe.
Okay. How much homework should they be given?
It depends the subject. For example, for learning a new language, in some parts, writing is necessary. But after that, I prefer communicating, discovering new things, talking, traveling, exploring the things, but not just writing.
Okay, and do you think parents should help their children with their homework, or should it be done alone?
Of course, parents should help if they can, especially nowadays. The educational system, it's more difficult nowadays because there are lots of changes. And maybe children at a school, they cannot understand the course easily. And a mom or a dad in the atmosphere of home can help their children much better.
Right. So now we'll discuss the relationship between education and work. How important is it to have a university education to get a job in your country?
In my country, okay. Unfortunately, most of people, they are not in right places. Their university degrees and what they do, most of the time, they are really far from each other. But according to, social opinion, children are forced to go to university, and it's not useful all the time, because it's a waste of time. Instead of going to university and spending time 4 years, spending money, wasting time, I prefer learning kind of skills can be more useful.
Okay, so
and more practical.
Does having a degree from another country enhance employment opportunities in your country?
I didn't understand the question.
I'll repeat it. Does having a degree from another country enhance employment opportunities in your country?
Yes, of course, but in some situation I can say that in my country there are still some majors, they are not known, they are not known, yes. But in other countries, because they are more developed, they are more developed, and there are some new majors which are added to universities, but in Iran, yes, they are not still, they are unknown. But in some cases, yes, especially medical situation, yes, it's really useful that we have some students who studied abroad and now they work here.
Okay. What impacts do students who have studied abroad have on their country of origin when they come home?
First of all, we can mention impacts of culture. When a person who is studied there, of course, by coming back to their country, they are not just the knowledge which is come back to the country, the culture, maybe new traditions are added, especially in the atmosphere of family and the people around he or her, and it can have a positive effect and negative effect, and it depends the society. Are these changes are acceptable in the society or not?
Okay, thank you very much. That
You're
is
welcome.
the end of the test. اوکی تموم شد امتحانتون نفسی بگیرید خسته نباشید.
مرسی.
خب اولین قبضی که فیدبک بدیم میذاره به آیلتس سکورتون رو نگاه کنیم.
بله.
خب مدلی که شما الان هستید حدود 6 یا 6.5 هستید و اینا. حالا بهتون میگم چرا. pronunciation اصولا تلفظ کردن کلمه هاتون خوب هست. بعضی جاها مشکل دارید. مثلا به جای developed گفتی developed، این میشه خب یه مشکل تلفظی. حالا بعضی جاها حتی مشکل ته کلمه ها داریم. مثلا به جای یه کلمه گفتیم به نام مثل projects studies، گفتی study، مثلا یا plural، جایی که مثلا باید study باشه studies باشه، اینا حتما حواستون باشه. از نظر خب راحت هم صحبت میکنید، اینش خوبه، یعنی میتونید راحت مکالمه داشته باشید با آدمای مختلف. میخوان همینو ببینن. اگزامینر توی این قسمت speaking or IELTS they want to see if you're just speaking normally, speaking naturally. You were not using any idioms as far as I could. Maybe you used one or two, but they were in place. They were exactly where you should have been using them. That's how a native speaker would speak. So when you're talking about coherence, as far as like from what I'm looking at as an examiner, this is exactly what you should be doing. That's the correct way, is to be talking more naturally. Some teachers may tell you, oh, it's better if you use more idioms. That's what native speakers do. Just use idioms and expressions after each other. That's not correct. That's not what they're looking for here. In fact, in the band score for IELTS is to see where the idioms are being used more naturally. It's not using more of them. It's speaking more naturally. Ravun باشین در واقع. شما کجا احساس داشتین که مثلا ممکنه براتون سخت‌تره؟ کجا استراگل می‌کردین در واقع؟
خیلی چیزایی که میخوام بگم خب تو ذهنم قاطی میشه، یعنی میذاره مرتب نیست. همین فکر میکنم اینجا احتیاج به تمرین بیشتری دارم که به ترتیب چیزایی که تو ذهنم رو بگم. حتی خیلی وقتا اصلا یادم نمیگم، مثلا چیزایی که تو ذهنم بوده که خب حتما به این چیزا اشاره بشه، مطمئنم مثلا نگفتم، چیزایی که حالا راجبش برنامه داشتم تو ذهنم بوده. خب مثلا من به تمرین بیشتری احتیاج داره، ولی بیشتر فکر میکنم که درست جواب سوالو شاید نمیدم. خودم این حسو میکنم، اون اطلاعاتی که باید بدم و شاید نمیدم. یه ذره انگاری پرت میشم شاید.
اوکی، این خیلی مشکلی نیستش. وقتی که داری با اگزامینر صحبت میکنی، اگه یه جورایی داری توضیح میدید که خیلی متوجه نیست، این چون هر کسی همه چی رو نمیدونه که این speaking IELTS این نیستش که شما چقدر تو این مغز دارین، چقدر میتونید جواب این سوالا درست همه چی رو بدونید. نه اصلا همچین چیزی
فکر می‌کنم مثلا دیگه دارم کش میدم واسه اینکه فقط اون 1-2 دقیقه صحبت بکنم. در واقع اطلاعات نمیدم، فقط دارم کشش میدم. این حسو داشتم.
یه ذره اینجوری هست، ولی مثلا اگه شما دارین مثلا اون 2 دقیقه که دارین صحبت میکنید، اون یه تاپیکیه که ممکنه اصلا
حالا نشنیده
باشید. دقیقاً. و وقتی که دارین نگاه میکنید میتونید شروع کنید بگید خب اینجا سوال شده که من در مورد یه کورسی که من درس خوندم صحبت بکنم. ممکنه maybe you didn't even do the study, maybe you didn't even do a course, but you can start with saying using 10%. 10% در مورد خود موضوعی که هستش جواب بدین، بعد برید تو 30% موضوعی که شما میدونید. خود موضوع اصلا 100% نباید باشه. میخوان ببینن شما توی جای اینجوری سخت که این چیزی نمیدونی چه جوابایی داری.
حداقل خودم رو بتونم جمع جور کنم، کنترل کنم.
دقیقاً. بعد میتونی این کار رو بکنی. یعنی الان این بند سکوری که دارین 6.5 این راحت میتونی ببریش به 7 7.5 با این تکنیک ها همون که من گفتم یه کمی رو pronunciation کار کنید. دقیقاً. vocabulary من میگم خیلی دقت نکنید به موضوع. vocabulary قویه ماشاءالله. من مشکلی نمیدیدم. اندازه کافی vocabulary داری که
گرامر چی؟
گرامر میگم بعضی جاهای من بعضی جا فکر کنم شما به موضوع داشتین بیشتر فکر میکردین که خب یه ذره شما از
ساختار دیگه
ریل خارج شدین. ریل قطار یه هستش a little bit going off the rails, but that's nothing to worry about. That again, that needs just more practice. They would say practice makes perfect. So
thank you so much.
So definitely do that. And when you're practicing the speaking, imagine if write down one of these questions and then time yourself actually, because when I looked at part 1, I even asked you an extra question. You saw that اضافه بازم رو اون کاغذ رفتم.
Explain more.
چون پارت 1 4 تا 5 دقیقه بعد همین جوابای سوالات خیلی شخصی جواب بدین و اینا همه سوالات تموم شده بود. من یه دونه اضافه آخرش پرسیدم بازم نرسیده بودیم 3 دقیقه و تقریبا کوتاه بود بازم. پس جوابتون یه ذره چی میگن they say elaborate on it. بیشتر توضیح
شاخ و برگ بدم.
دقیقاً. بعد عجله هم نکن. اصلا عجله نکن. عجلتون چیه؟ وقتی که این تایمه میخواد تموم بشه من خود اگزامینر استاپتون میکنه. مخصوصا اون 2 دقیقه‌ایه شما همینجوری بگید چیزی که تو ذهنتون هست، بولت پوینت هایی که نوشتین دونه دونه همه رو بگید. اصلا عجله نه.
حتما.
عجله میکنید اشتباهات بیشتر میاد. دیدم این وسط ها یه دفعه یه مکسی داشتین. یه مکسی داشتین گفتیم خب من چی میخواستم اون مال کمی عجله کردن بود. پس این حتما مواظب باشین که عجله نکنید. خیلی آروم قشنگ مرور به دونه دونه هم بولت پوینت ها
نوتامو بخونم.
دقیقاً. بعد اینجوری وقتی یواش حرف میزنید خب کمتر هم اشتباه میکنید. یعنی تو قسمت 2 قشنگ 1 دقیقه و 40 ثانیه صحبت کرد. اگه بتونید بکشین روی 2 دقیقه خود اگزامینر استاپتون میکنه. چون اصلا مهم نیست جملتون تموم شده یا نه. پس حتما تایم بگیرید جلو آینه بلند
رکورد کنید.
دقیقاً هی صحبت کنید. هی ببینید چه برو تو اون فضایی که میخوای در موردش صحبت کنی. هر چی بری تو اون فضا چیزی که تو ذهنت بود اون خاطره این راحت تر شما یادتون بازم میاد که خب چی میخواستیم بگین. در ضمن میتونید تایمتون باز بیشتر بکنید. پس don't worry about these sort of things. قشنگ راحت من شما رو میبینم الان میتونید واقعا خودتون
ارتباط برقرار کردن خوبه. یعنی با یه نیتیو اینا مشکلی نیست.
بله شما قشنگ راحت مثلا توضیحاتون رو میبینید. من میگم میذاره بعضی جاهای گرامر مواظب باشین. اون پرونانسیشن ها بازم فیلم ببینید. همین
گوش زیاد بدم یعنی
گوش بدین. دقیقاً گوش بدین چجوری تلفظ میشه. تلفظات تکرار کنید بازم جلو آینه خیلی بلند واقعا کمکتون میکنه. من مطمئنم. So just keep practicing that and
Sure.
keep hold of the timing.
Thanks for the advice. Yeah.
No problem. And also the plurals. If you're talking about a group of students, don't say students, say students. If it's the other way around, then always remember your plurals, because that falls onto the grammar, the grammar situation.
Sure.
So if you want to keep your grammar to a band 7.5, then you would have to just keep more track, be more fluent with the grammar.
Sure.
And like I said, with the vocabulary, I don't think you have much problem with vocab. You've got a good use of vocabulary. I will concentrate more on the pronunciations and especially
In
the
the grammar.
timing.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you,
Ruza,
sir.
خیلی ممنونم.
It's my pleasure.
متشکرم. مرسی.